Yeah, red face again. Let's change that show. Hi, oh my god, hi. What's up? Hey man, when was the last time you guys projected? I think a couple of days ago. Can I get a shout out? C Gamer RX. When we go to live streaming. Yeah, I'm live streaming. Alright, hi. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. Oh, I got my headphones in. I didn't want that to happen. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me okay. I cannot believe I just called you. Yeah, I don't normally go live on my YouTube channel. I've been going live the past week on my Instagram account. I'm going to be going live on my Instagram account for the next 2 months, and I'm going to be seeing how that kind of goes. So I just thought I'd try and catch you guys now on my YouTube account, because I know everyone always jumps on to YouTube live streams, probably because of the rarity of this occasion. This YouTube live stream will be a Q&A. I just want to wait until some people get in to this live stream first before I continue. But if you're here already, then I'd encourage you to look me up on Instagram and follow that account, because probably at the end of this, I'm going to hop on over to Instagram. And you can do that by just looking up Ryan_J_Cropper. Hi Ryan, good to see that smile. Dragon Few, email me, okay, about the course. Ryan, you have opened my world, thank you. You're welcome. All right, hey Peter. What happens when you drink ayahuasca? That's quite a broad question there. Check out my... Actually, I can tell you. Shall I tell you now? No, I can't tell you now. That'll ruin the surprise. I've recently just come back from Rhythmia. After this would be my second time going, and I finally understood what ayahuasca actually does to somebody, because I wasn't in resistance this time, like, at all, and I completely understood what ayahuasca does to a person's being, their soul. And I went all the way this time, guys. I've been leaking little videos on Instagram of my stay at Rhythmia with the other YouTubers, because I'm currently working on a vlog. It should only be one vlog about my Rhythmia ayahuasca story, and I will be including all 4 days in that story, along with some information that I missed out during my last series, my ayahuasca series. I missed out day 4 and day 3 day 4 and day 3 for specific reasons. But only this time around did I understand what those experiences actually, meant. And so I believe that it's actually safe for me to give you guys that information now, because it's not as bad as I originally thought. I didn't want to freak you guys out, so I didn't tell you anything. But honestly, it's fine for me to tell you now what happened on those days. And even this time around, on the 4th day of taking ayahuasca, something happened to me which I would have considered as bad, but because of my understanding of ayahuasca now, I actually think it's quite important for me to teach you guys, or to tell you guys it, and tell you how it relates to astral projection, because it's opened me up to a different side of astral projection. And I've gained the awareness to decipher some of my more complicated astral projection experiences because of my experience on ayahuasca. And the specific ayahuasca that I drank that always makes me astral project every single time is called Yahe. And so that video might get done as little as a week. It might get done next month. Honestly, I'm going to edit it with the content that I've got now, which should be enough. But if I can make it better, then I'm probably going to make it better and hold off a couple of weeks. But over the past 2 days, I've actually found a way to give you guys that content anyway. You see, what I want to start doing is start having a Patreon account or a YouTube subscription where you guys would subscribe and pay a little tiny monthly fee of your choosing. And all you'll be getting is additional content. And my ideal for additional content, guys, is because I've always got a crap ton of information, a crap ton of video material after my vlogs, I want to start making alterations, extended versions of my vlogging series, and the videos that they usually see this YouTube channel, I want to start putting it on the end of my subscription service. So whoever subscribes would get that additional information, including more personal content, which honestly I've not let out because it is too sensitive. You know, I don't want the wrong kinds of people watching it. And so I'm going to play with that. It's either going to be on a YouTube subscription or some kind of Patreon. I'm going to think about it next week, how to get that rolling. But right now, what I've been doing is I've actually been steadily kind of masterminding how to make these social media platforms work within each other so that I can do more for you guys when it comes to giving you content and helping you all out. And help myself out in the process, because I've had a lot of blockages towards some of the things that I've done. They're not bad things, it's just I judged them negatively. But it's changed. I've changed my outlook on things in order to allow me to be more creative, which is something I've always wanted to do in the first place. I had creativity blockages towards social media, which was insane. But they're gone now. So, hi Ryan, thank you for all the work and your guidance. You're welcome, Chloe. Ryan, have you ever met your true self? I am my true self. I'm connected to all of them. It's really weird because I can pull information from any parallel version of me or any kind of higher version and channel it as if we're sharing one brain. It's weird. It gets weird. Great question, Kevin. Where's Kevin's question? Kevin, ever been to a black hole while astral projection and really found out what happens beyond the event horizon? I haven't been inside a black hole, but I have been inside many wormholes. And actually, you know what? Yeah, I have been inside a black hole. You just reminded me. I had an astral projection experience where I think I talked about it already. I was at a fun fair and humans can see me, but there were a few more dead people there. And in the sky, there was a black hole that was sucking up all the dead people. And I went through it, and it was just another tail end of the universe. What is it at her event horizon? I'm going to Google that real quick. Her event horizon meaning. A theoretical boundary around a black hole beyond which no light or other radiation can escape, the point of no return. You can return from an event horizon. You just got to go through another back door, another wormhole. Do you do personal calls? I do. I hold Skype consultations for life coaching, consciousness development, psychology, literally pretty much anything to do with consciousness, life, and even the afterlife. It's kind of weird because everything is consciousness. Anything you think, anything you say because of your thoughts, reality that happens only because of our action, which is an after effect of us thinking. You know, everything is consciousness. So I specialize in consciousness and the tail end of that, you know, the after effect. And on my website, lioncorporate.com, you can book sessions. However, right now I'm not doing sessions for this week because there's construction happening in this building, which is why it's so late and I'm going live now. It's 9:40 CST in Costa Rica. I usually do consultations from 11 o'clock until, no, 10 o'clock until 7. And that's when I'm in the UK. But whilst I'm in Costa Rica, I'll be doing them from 11 o'clock in the AM till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, CST, not PST, CST, okay? My calendar will open up again next week. I think it's already open. You can check it out on my website. It's just this week has been blocked off, so you can start booking already. Tell us new people you met in the astral plane. I really can't without, like, they don't really tell me their names. I've met a whole bunch of beings. I've met different species of alien recently. Sounds weird, I know. But the world is not the world. The world and other things are quite strange. That's weird. The notification said God is live streaming. That's weird. Is that a joke? Is you being serious? That's strange. Do you have any tips for being a spiritual as a teen? I've opened my third eye. Yeah, you're gonna have it rough because as a teenager, life, or what we know as life without ordinary awareness, is tough. And so you're now going to have to deal with that side of being a teen in 3D and the spiritual reality of life. You know, honestly, do things that make you feel like you, and try to keep to yourself as much as you can so that you don't project onto everyone. Because in this phase of your life, you're going to be the most emotionally amped up, and emotions are often the conduits to physical activity, either violence, yelling, swearing, and you don't want to ruin your relationships with your family and your friends because you're going through stuff. So try to stay to yourself. And don't drink alcohol. I think this should be said for everyone. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, hey, don't drink alcohol because you're young. I'm going to tell you from a spiritual standpoint. Alcohol is a spiritual substance. It quickens your issues internally. Usually you hold back stuff, right? Your problems and stuff like that. Drink alcohol, that'll loosen you up. You're not going to hold it back anymore. Most people aren't ready for alcohol. Seriously. You can use it as a spiritual substance if you want to become more loose and sit by yourself and just have a moment to yourself. So it's kind of purge out negative emotions and really think through your thoughts. But I don't think it should be done recreational. My ability to speak is like recreationally. Don't do that. Especially in the last year, I felt very lucky, and I don't know what causes the coincidences. I'm gonna have to go back to your first question instead of like a follow-up. Follow-up. I'm gonna slow down how I'm speaking because I trip over my words here, guys. Set one intention. Speak clearly. Just have like 5 or 6 different shifts inside my mind. Okay. Welcome, new people who've just tuned in. I'm going to make this announcement for the second time. Head on over to Instagram because shortly I'm going to hang up and continue the live stream on Instagram. The Instagram account, Ryan J. Cropper, is going to be the account that I hold all of my Q&As on for the next 2 months. Okay? Is astral travel easier? In my opinion, it is. It doesn't take much at all for me just to sit there and open up my third eye and start receiving a whole bunch of information, visions and locations, and then later on for me to slide in there. Cass just gave me a donation. Thank you very much, Cass. That's the super chat you're doing on this super chat. Guys, there is a super chat on here where you can actually, oh, it's Casey England. Hey, Casey. The client. There is a super chat where obviously if you pay your questions are going to get top priority actually goes into a separate chat. I feel like it's my duty to tell you that specifically because people who already know that are going to take advantage of that. Okay, what else we got here? Thoughts on the devil? Thank you for reminding me. I did a San Pedro video that I haven't uploaded. I'm going to give you the brief. Basically, the devil is God. Okay, don't run away and freak out. The devil and God are two sides of the same face. I took a ton of San Pedro, way too much. Not literally a ton. I did 6 tablespoons of San Pedro, which was way too much for me because I'm really sensitive to that apparently. And I discovered a whole lot about as above, so below, Jesus Christ, and the nature of source self and how it's gone through many stages of resistance, resisting the truth of its own origin, a specific fact about its origin, and how its resistance in many phases is then projected into different dimensions as different archetypes, one of which is the devil. And that is representation. It's a representation of itself in the most conflict with the truth of the fact that it's alone. Okay, spoiler alert. And so it's not just that it's violence manifested in 3D. Anything you find evil or dark or just nonsensical, it's all because that's a very raw, negative vibration. That's a representation of it in another dimension going through something. And it doesn't even know how it's being manifested throughout these other dimensions. And it gave me a whole bunch of other examples, like every person, when they're in resistance to something, right? They go through this whole freaking journey where they find themselves comforting themselves or wanting comfort, so they're okay with dealing with the truth. And so that, source consciousness comforting itself has also shattered and kind of projected out into other dimensions through what we call different scenarios, such as relationships. You're a kid and you look up to your teacher for comfort because you're not getting it at home, or maybe you're getting it at home in family comfort from food. All that stuff is just source consciousness comforting itself, which again is it's a manifestation of how it's thinking in a separate plane. And again, it doesn't know how its original thought has actually manifested throughout time and space. It's very unaware of this stuff. And there are even more. It gave me a literal progression all the way to its end result of how it's dealt with it. And it's huge. I don't want to go into the rest of the story because I don't want to ruin it for everyone. Because it made for a good vlog. It really did. Yeah. I might finish it. I stopped uploading it, or I stopped editing it because it got really confusing to someone who didn't go through it. So I wanted to make more sense out of it and create a separate video for that. Is there a way I can give you an empath session? Yeah, go on to ryancropper.com, click on book a session, scroll down to empath session, and click on that, and it will redirect you to my calendar. Make sure you do this on the computer, because on my calendar, just above it, it will give you the option to change your time zone, and then click a slot that you're available. It'll give you the available dates and times, and then you can pay for it, and then you'll be notified of your booking, okay? What else we got? There's so many questions here, guys. I get so much here. I don't get this many on Instagram. Yin, yang, light, dark, up and down. Right in the middle, that's where you want to be. What we got? Book. Book will be done. I need to self-coach myself back into book writing. I did the opposite. I coached myself out of it and redirected my focus into other things. At one point, it will be finished. Not unless I die before it gets finished, and that won't happen because I have to die in the next 3 or 4 years. It will be done. Casey, by the way. I've been trying to astral project for months. I can't, and I'm just not ready. Okay, you're just not ready in the sense that how you've been approaching it with your mind, how it's set right now, logically, is wrong. And so you're not ready to astral project predicated on your current mindset. If you change your mindset, and I don't mean your beliefs, I mean how you're going about it, what you think is possible for you at any given point of time, doubts, for example, that kind of goes into beliefs, right? Maybe what you're doing, put it that way, awareness. Most of the time people are trying to astral project and they think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. Actually, what they're doing is stopping them from leaving their body. So reevaluating your process. That honestly will have you astral project sooner rather than later. Reevaluation of the facts, of how you're blocking yourself will always be more important than your belief, your belief in yourself to astral project. Sounds weird, but trust me, we tangle ourselves up with hubris, pride, thinking that, we can do everything already and this is, it's easy, it's simple, I've done it. You probably haven't done it the right way. Sounds kind of rude me saying like that, but honestly, it's true because I've been there, trust me. I was a very stubborn person. Yeah. I used to think I was doing everything right. And I'd never actually looked back at what I was doing because I thought I already figured it out. I was doing it completely wrong. So many times for so many things. Why do you have to die? Well, you have to transition, and really it's not a must, depending that we are our bodies that need to break down. There are so many beliefs at times for you shifting your habits and becoming self-destructive to support your belief of death. If you believe that you're immortal, just one belief of immortality, every little thing that happens around that belief when it comes to your life will change, and you'll actually extend your lifespan pretty well. Pretty well. He has done DMT, guys. He has videos on it. I've done DMT, like a lot. DMT. I've made it many occasions. I'm not giving out the recipe though. I get me in trouble. Do you like Forbidden Earth places on? Wait, what? Forbidden Earth places? Wait. Do you like Forbidden Earth places on Astral? I don't understand your question. I mean, I think I do, in like 2 other ways that it could be taken. But I'd like you to rewrite that, please. What else we got? Is there a way to relive the past and change things? Oh, relive the past. Okay. You can't change the past, but you can change your perception of it, and you can move to a parallel timeline where those events didn't happen. One is very difficult, one is very easy. It's always best just to change your perception on the past. I know it doesn't sound that sexy, but the reality is your ability to do such a task will make you jump leaps and bounds when it comes to your psychological evolution as a person. The amount of skill required to do such a thing isn't really, well, in my opinion, that should be sought out for, What else we got? Too much comments on here, man. LOL. There's a lot. It's just, do I believe in energy work? Yeah, I do. Have you ever met being alternate versions of you? Yeah, I have. Oh man, just once I'm astral projected. And I met my spirit guide. Again, the one that I said left me when I was a kid, the little green smurf. Those of you who have been subscribed for a long time know what I mean. You can check out the video if you haven't seen it yet. It's on Astral Projection Stories. Anyway, so I project, right? And I find him again. I mean, he's a little different. He's a little bigger now. He's older, I guess. And he's been heavily influenced by anyone who he's been in contact with. Like, you know, people rub off on you. He had changed quite a bit. Anyway, we're sat in a theater, right? I'm like summoned there from my astral travels, and he's on the screen, big, kind of giving me a what do you call it? A documentary of my dimensional, the dimensional reality of my beingness, my existence. And I look to my right, I see another me. Look behind me, I see another me. I look around me, and there are so many me's, maybe about 15, close to 20, and we all look we look similar, but we're dressed differently. I got it, you know. These are all the versions of me, and there have been other experiences where I've astral projected and literally seen other me's walking in and out of different cracks in space-time, all on their own little missions, doing their own little thing, and I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Well, Richard, thanks for the donation, pal. Most spiritual practice for beginners? Probably not gonna like this. For beginners. Actually, most spiritual, that's not, I can't give a fair answer on that, because most spiritual is the most important spiritual practice. That's more of an opinion, you know? Because to me, the most important spiritual practice would be patience, but not just patience. If I go in a bit more in detail, it would be learning to be okay with absolutely nothing, being not bored, but enjoying silence. Just the complete abstinence of stimulation and being happy with that. That would be, in my opinion, the best, because it's done a lot for me, and fasting helped me really reach that state. Could we run into each other in the astrals? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. My aura color, let me check. It's green. Green with white streaks in it. And there's a bluish haze around the top. Can we astral travel into wormhole? Yeah, many times. You actually pop in and out of wormholes when you astral travel. That's how you get to the other planes of existences. Man, this is like frying my brain. And turn down the thing, brightness. Oh my god, I wasn't notified for this live stream. Just saw this. Yeah, notifications. I'm not sure why. But sometimes when you subscribe, it doesn't work. And not unless you hit that bell button. Supposedly, then you get the notifications, but I'm hearing otherwise. Do you belong to a religion? Is that your question? I want to say yes and no, like all of them, and none of them at the same time. Nah, no, not really. Not as people would. Not how people see it, you know, like one person belonging to here and there, no. But on a different level, it's a little more complicated. How do you personally meditate? I like to sit with myself and meditate with, you know, whatever's here. I'm not one of those types of people who will try and do a meditation that I want to do first. I will sit with myself, sense what's happening, and then deal with myself, and that's my first meditation. It could be anything, but then after that I have the luxury of doing whatever I want, because otherwise how am I going to meditate about stuff in my mind, you know? Are you going to go to the moon again? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Have you ever met Jesus in the astral plane? Yeah, many times, and probably many times more. It just keeps happening. I think it's not going to happen anymore. I think it's it. You know, I've had one meeting with him. That's it. And then it happens again. And then I take something, more stuff happens. Who do you think built the pyramids? Honestly, aliens. That's what I think. It's not what I know. For me to know, I have to actually go and figure it out. We'll go and find out. I woke up one night with my body vibrating. A being was standing next to my bed. How do you know if a being has a message for you? I was afraid and told him to go away. So the first thing you gotta do, well, a message for you. That's a bit specific. Some beings, if you can't move, well, I'm assuming you could move, because when your body's vibrating and you wake up like that, you've woken up in the etheric plane, and your body, from our perspective, is glitching in and out of dimensions. And so from a traveler standpoint, we're watching you, that's kind of weird. And so we probably don't have a message, we're probably just curious. The problem is with that is a lot of times people freak out and they tell us to go away. It's always best not to freak out during those times. Sense the energy coming off this being first to determine whether or not it's good or bad. Because a lot of the time we judge, especially if it looks weird. Thoughts on depression. Depression is something we all have to go through. I'm not saying that as a life, a rule or a fact of life. I'm saying that as an order, you have to go through it, because it will make you better at dealing with your thoughts, your mind, and life. If you don't go through depression, I know it feels uncomfortable. Trust me, I'm sorry, I wish it was any other way, but if you don't go through depression, if you run away from it, it's gonna build up, and then later on in life, it's gonna be probably too late. You're gonna try and deal with it, and it's gonna become too much for you. So dealing with it and getting good with that would be the best. That's my thoughts on depression. And don't worry, one big thing, just because you're depressed doesn't mean you're not spiritual. A lot of people think that to become spiritually evolved, they need to be happy all the time. To me, that's you going completely backwards. Being spiritually evolved basically means that you're able to deal with any situation, you're comfortable with any situation, you're not in resistance to any situation or state of being, and you're able to have the awareness and discipline, the awareness to get yourself out, and the discipline to become detached from your emotional state or your state of being, and then to help figure yourself out, to figure the situation out, so that you can get out. The discipline is in emotional detachment to an extent. The skill lies in kind of being aware of the emotions without becoming affected by your emotional state, your way of being. When you become unconscious, you get lost in your emotions, you get lost in the body, you get lost in this dimension, and then you can become trapped in a state of unawareness. And then it's like you get tied into all these other systems of thought which distract you from becoming aware and from really ascending or transcending yourself in that low vibrational unconscious state, that messy state. I hope that made sense. How to practice energy work? Well, there's a way of doing it. Greetings, Shen Long. There's a way to practice energy work that I like, which is not to read any books at the beginning. You just lay with yourself and you bring your awareness internally. Don't worry about whether or not you're doing it right or wrong. Just become aware of your energy as it is right now, and then get up and just keep being aware of your energy. Don't judge what is and what isn't energy. Whatever you're able to sense or feel is a form of energy, right? It's being propelled by something, navigated by some kind of fuel. Even if it's the blood rushing through your veins, there's energy there. It might express itself in the form of heat because there's movement. That's still energy. The fact that your molecules are bonded together means that you're energetical. You're being bonded by energy. If you take away your fields, this is like quantum physics, you will literally just dematerialize. And so everything that's holding you together is energy. when you lay with yourself and you're able to really sense into the body and notice how your thoughts are altering these different aspects of energy, you'll become more intuitive and sensitive to energy. And you'll actually end up discovering things that most people haven't yet. And then when you find yourself discovering something about energy, then look for a book and use it as reference material. Right, I'm feeling something up this side of my face and behind my eye. Notice that when I feel a specific emotion, it moves to the area of my body. Let's try and find that online or in some kind of book. If the books aren't telling you much, look for something a bit older. You know, you might have to travel to another country, into a library, which is like not heard of at all. It's quite rare. Get into that library and look for the oldest section on energy work, or learn another language and find a master. They'll probably appreciate it too if you speak Mandarin. What else we got? Roy, have you been to the future? I have. Many different kinds of future. Madison says, I'm smiling so hard. I'm just like running with this. At this point, I'm just hoping you guys can. I mean, I'm trying to speak very clearly so that it's not confusing anyone. I take it it's not because people are still on the stream. Have you heard of 5-DMT? I have heard of 5-MER DMT. Heard of it, I haven't taken it. When you move realities, what happens to you here? Well, have you ever had those moments where you're like, all of a sudden, just tired? It's like you've devolved for a moment. Maybe you've eaten something, you're like, meh, you know? Well, when you jump to another reality, the part of your awareness that you occupy in your head goes, but you kind of split and you jump into another body and you merge with its consciousness. The other you get its memories and stuff like that. The you here stays here. You just feel like you've dipped a little bit in awareness. Look at it like having water in your head. You're just taking a cup, but for once you've ended up in that cup and you just pour it into another you's head. But you're the water overall, so you're still consciousness here. You're still, get it? I think so. Hey, thanks for the donation. Number one factor that helped you gain all of your knowledge, being alone. Life distracts the crap out of people from self-discovery and observation. The more distracted you are about something which really doesn't matter, the less you observe things. The more quiet you are, the more you can observe things. Because I was alone for the majority of my childhood, Costa and stuff like that, blah. You know, the story. I didn't talk much. Being a part of an abusive household makes people quiet. And so I observed everything. Go on talk fasts. You know, don't say anything for like a week, see what happens. Have you seen the monsters in the Atlantic Ocean? I have not. I haven't been to inner Earth either. I think, I'm not sure. If I went through a wormhole, I wouldn't really know. You know, it's just like another place. I'd have to go down in, right? Would you ever astral project to me and lift me out of my body? I would not, because these dimensions are dense. Why do you have to die right within the next 3 to 4 years? I didn't say that. Oh, what? You took it literally? Huh? Well, if I had to die in the next 3 to 4 years, then my plans would never come to fruition. You wouldn't have any books. You wouldn't have other things. Because knowing me, these ideas tend to run their course in the next 3 or 4 years. So within the next 3 or 4 years, anything that I thought about doing 2 years ago would have been done, or even 5 years ago. Doesn't make much sense in 5 to. So it feels like it makes sense. But yeah, how do you guide yourself through decision? Weigh the weigh the pros and the cons of that decision. More importantly, how it makes you feel, not anyone else around you. You've got to be true to yourself. Otherwise, you'll feel like crap for the rest of your life. What else have we got? Can you turn off light switches while astral projecting? No, you can't. That's a very specific question. Did you already know the answer? I want to die? No, don't, no. Hey, Rena, trust me, this life is amazing. Not just saying that, really. I've been living in a place in Costa Rica recently for the past couple of weeks or more. I literally wake up, open my front door, and there are clouds in front of me. I can touch a passing cloud. Okay? There are so many dimensions to a view that a landscape wallpaper on your desktop really doesn't do it justice. They're like literally dimensions. There's a level of distance that you see with these views. Only on 3D that you can see. Trust me, don't go anywhere. You're going to miss out on a lot. Can you change your aura color? I think you can. You just got to change how you feel, right? Why can't you see properly in the astral plane? It's because your astral body is out of sorts. It's not working properly. You need to tune it up, then you'll be fine. This is another announcement for you guys who have just come onto this live stream. I'm gonna be doing live Instagram Q&As on Instagram. Duh. I'm gonna be doing these Q&As on Instagram for the next 2 months. Okay, so follow me on Instagram. It's Ryan_J_Cropper, not J-A-Y as in the name J, but literally the letter J _Cropper. Okay, Ryan, you'll find it in the description below. Whoa, okay, Lefa, we got a question here. Hey Ryan, I need your help. I lost a girlfriend of mine that I loved with my heart. As time passed, I'm gonna read it I have this like grammar thing going on where I try to correct grammar whilst I'm reading, and then it just makes me slow down reading. I'm gonna read it as you wrote it. Hey Ryan, I need your help. I lost a girlfriend of mine that I loved with my heart. As time passed by, I feel like I'm totally losing myself. Do you think DMT would help in this case? In my case, I do. I'm not advocating that you take it, but I know that DMT has a way of opening a person up to the greater reality of circumstances, to the point where they can actually let go of a lot of stuff that has been bothering them for a while. Oh, Wizard Harry. Shrooms, not DMT. Hey, don't be biased. I've done both things. They both have their benefits. Again, I'm not advocating that anyone does psychedelics. But from my experience, they've been good to me. Will going through the DMT experience make it easier to astral project? Maybe. I can't say that it will, because that's not the case for me. The only thing that made me better at astral projecting was me doing it more and studying the process of astral projection as it pertained to my experience, creating a record, and not only of how I perceived it and how I got in my own way, but also what worked and what didn't work, what methods had what effects on what energy bodies, which then allowed me to leave my body for a longer period of time. On my second channel, Astral Projection Vlogs, you can also find it on my main channel. Just scroll down, you'll find a specific featured video of the last time I actually recorded myself astral projecting, which was, I think, a week ago. It's basically a new raw astral projection channel, because I used to do a long time ago raw astral projection vlogs where I just wake up shoot a video of my astral projection encounter, experience encountering things, beings. And I started my main channel up because of that. But then I started talking about other things that I was into, but a lot of people subscribed for those astral projection videos. So I thought that if I create a second channel, then those of you who just wanted that content could just get that content. But you can actually find that video. And in that video, I mentioned as to how I'm experimenting with another technique, which had me stuck in the astral realm for a very long time. Very long time. I've been talking for 45 minutes. I'm definitely going to head on over in a sec, guys, to, in a sec. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to continue this live stream on Instagram. I can speak for a long time. What's up, man? How do you feel about astrology? I feel deeply about astrology, in the sense that a long time ago, I discovered astrology from a vibrational sense. I could feel the astrological bodies of information, how the planets were making me change my thinking process. And it was really weird, but it's a very, very long story, and I should probably make a video on it. But there's a lot of truth behind astrology, a lot of it. You're actually supposed to master your astrological sign, be that you're supposed to master the energies that are influencing your decision-making so that they don't get in the way of your life purpose, of you carrying out your life purpose. And then you're supposed to be able to channel specific bodies, like celestial bodies of energy, to shift your own astrological sign into different signs so that you can adopt different traits of the many people on this earth. And then you can then pull from different energies, shifting your character to manifest different things quicker. It's huge. Ru and Crow Pie, $10 donation. Thanks. I'm scrolling to find your question. There it is. There's your question. All these donations always have questions. Just gotta find them. Before I moved your question up to the top, but now it's like in between everyone else's. I've been followed by 5 apparitions for the past 2 months in my dreams. And when I actually project this week, I saw them. I felt they had bad intentions. Okay. What should I do if they come back? Okay. 2 months. What have you done within the past? Like, before it started, what happened? Who have you met? What have you brought? Have you moved to a place? What has happened? Because if you can find out what you did 2 months ago, you can just undo that, and then you should be okay. That's a kind of vague answer. Maybe you can write down what you did in the comments. I'll look for it specifically and give you some help on that situation. How was the Ormus? You are a life path 8. Do you believe you embody this path? Yes, I do. You looked it up, huh? Yeah, Ormus is great. I need to make more of that. That was intense. I still need to get the new batch studied at a lab. I have been waiting for me to send it out to him. But I started traveling before I got the chance. How can I encourage ET contact? Thank you. Go out and pray for it. It's weird, but if you put it out there every day, you're gonna get it. It took me about 3 or 4 days, and then it just shot up. Am I an angel? What kind? Satan. Oh, Saturn. Saturn rules the 8. Sorry, that was a callback from earlier conversation. Lawof1.info. Is that a website? Did you find a sneaky way to get a website in here? No questions? No personal questions, personal messages. But trust me, guys, it's not easy. Some people really don't know what it's like until they see my inbox. How can I get notified when you go live on Instagram? I think it notifies you straight away. It's in the Astrals. Yeah, I do. I do. The audience charged. Dimensions are fun too. But right now I'm enjoying this planet, like Earth. I never would have imagined as a kid growing up that it was this. Like, there isn't really a word. If amazing in one word, like if they had a baby, it would come close. Is that place in Costa Rica open to anyone? It is. You're talking about this Airbnb? You know, it's called Vista Valverde. It's literally where you can rent out the space, and they got quite a few properties here. They're really nice people. This place is huge. It's going to get finished at the end of the month. Hopefully, that's what they say. I'd suggest you get this place. Only because of the space. You can do yoga here and everything. I'd sent you loads of money, but I spent it on weed. So I could astral project, but it didn't work. That's funny. No, that's funny. I could just tell you how to do it. You spend it on weed instead. Hey, it does something anyway. It puts you in between worlds. I made my video on that, probably influenced you into getting it. Hey Ryan, how do I own myself in life and get confident with who I am? I consider myself a happy spiritual individual, but my weakness in this life seems to be self-expression, not exactly social anxiety. And here's the thing: if you're yourself, you're going to be happy no matter what. A lot of people don't really realize that until they get older. Heck, I didn't realize that until I got older. A large part of me being on social media was to express myself behind some kind of barrier so that I didn't get crap straight away. It was more comfortable this way. It was more easy. If you just be yourself in front of people in the public, you're going to get a lot of crap really fast. You need to have some kind of outlet and then build on that outlet until you become so comfortable with yourself that you really don't care. It takes a heck of a lot of courage. You're going to make people uncomfortable, you know? At the end of the day, you're going to cross a line with people where you become so comfortable in your own skin and expressing yourself the way you like to express yourself that you're only ever going to inspire them to be more of themselves. And that is fun to watch because you can bring out some funny attributes in people when you're just being you. Okay, I'm going to hop on over now to the live feed on Instagram. Let's do this. I'll leave my username in the description. There's 252 of you if you want to continue and you want me to answer your questions some more. Head on over there. Speak to you in a sec. Peace.